Hello there and welcome. Well, it's 6 o'clock, so it's time for a brand new one-day special. Now, you might be watching us for the first time, so let me introduce myself. I am Hayley West, and I am here with you with a brand new one-day special. It's a deal that we launch at 6 o'clock every single evening. Not this deal every single evening, because it changes. And this is the turn of All and Create. Now, if you are a first-time viewer to us here at the craft store, as I know many of you are, welcome. As you may well be aware, we have bought the company Create and Craft, so maybe that's how you've come across us. We've got a fabulous, exciting time ahead of us, and hopefully I will be appearing many times on your screen. Everything is pretty much business as usual, so ordering to the same phone lines, using all those memberships that you've already got, so don't worry, enjoy, and we will fill your hours with lots of crafting pleasure. But I'm not here by myself. A very familiar face, I am sure you will know, our lovely Leonie, alongside me, doing a little bit colouring in there.
I'm still colouring in. It is quite interesting because I feel that if people have obviously been sort of watching the craft channels for a while, they'll probably see my face pop up all over.
Oh, she's all over, yeah, honestly. Just keeps turning up like a bad penny.
Keep ticking all those craft telly boxes, don't
you?
I?
You do it so well.
But no, I'm really pleased to be doing this. Obviously, All and Create are an incredible brand. If you are just joining us, All and Create, really, when Abs, who brings us All and Create, is behind it, he's the owner. When he first started with All and Create, they were so small, weren't they?
Yeah.
To remember.
Oh, gosh,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely little Abs. They were dead quiet. You should see him now.
Oh, yes.
But it's amazing because as a brand, they've just grown and grown and grown. But what Abs has always managed to do is have really I can't say that word. Yeah, that one.
I have to say it quickly.
Yeah. I overthought that one.
And you did.
Really innovative products because the stuff that you've just never seen before. But these are trailblazing because then you see them afterwards, unfortunately. But he's also got amazing designers. One of the designers, of course, is the incredible Tracy Evans. Yeah. And Tracy is she's one of those designers. She's absolutely lovely. Her artwork is fab, but when she shares so much inspiration. She's so brilliant.
Very talented
and when she
lady.
designs, she makes sure the stamps she designs we can use in so many different ways.
Yep.
So you are always getting value for money with Tracy's, and I love this collection.
Well, this
it's
is
gorgeous.
Botanicals and flowers are something that Tracy do incredibly well, and what you've got here is a series of different sets. So you've got 3 A5 sets and you've got 2 A7 sets, and these are brilliant because they're not just solid stamps. You've got lots of components, lots of elements that work in so many different ways. As I say, flowers are very important to our lovely Tracy, and that's where she takes a lot of her inspiration from. I know her garden is very important to her, and I can just imagine her sitting, looking out of a window, doodling away, creating these beautiful pieces that we can see here. Now, of course, the design team have come up with some fabulous results using those stamps, and of course you will do so as well, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And it's interesting because Leonie was talking about obviously the company being a foundling, a fledgling company at some point, as all companies are, but what the company does is they give their stamps indexing numbers, and this is brilliant because you can kind of collect these wherever. It's an international company, lots of people collect these from all over the world, and they've got index numbers. Now this one, can you believe, up to number 600. We've actually gone a little beyond there because we have got 602, but there are some absolutely incredible stamps. So if you like the style, check out the brand section, you'll find even more there. But of course, it's a one-day special, so that is where we're going to be turning our attention. Now, we've got a couple of different prices on your screen. You can see everybody is saving at least £10 with this one, bringing it down to £59.95. But then you'll see that the screen has changed. Now, if you've got Freedom membership, which is a brilliant thing to get into, it means you've got an additional discount. It means that you are saving £15.99. Now, that £15.99 is on top of any other deals that we've got. Well, sometimes you will have little kind of deals because some of these are in pairings, some of them are individual stamps. You'll find all the different elements on the website, but the best way and the biggest saving way to get hold of these is with your Freedom membership. So you can see you've got 2 payments that you can spread the cost over, £26.98 being your first, and that is getting everything delivered to your door, and that is the beauty of Freedom membership. The price you see on the screen is the price that you pay. No hidden extras, no post and packing, just as it is. It's the way I like to shop. Keep it simple, that's my opinion. And here you can see beautiful examples of how you're going to be working with these. Leonie, I love these because whether you kind of want to get some arty or whether you're wanting to kind of keep things simple, there's a lot that you can do with these stamps.
I mean, the first two you showed there were Tracy's, and it's funny actually because I was thinking to myself, oh, I know what I'm going to do, and then I saw the samples. It was like, oh, I was
distracted.
Well, and it was like, oh, you know, that is kind of the thing that I wanted to show as well, and I love that because. Oh, she's just so fabulous. But yeah, when you look at them, there's so many different ways you can use them. You know, you've got backgrounds that you can create with them, beautiful feature images. I love them because, yes, they're the florals, but she mixes it up. So you have got a real mix of imagery within the one design. Obviously, they're going to work beautifully with some of the other gorgeous, gorgeous stamps that have been released by All & Create. But they're that kind of stamp set. If you bought these, they're a standalone stamp set. You know, you could literally just use these and create so many different looks.
That is gorgeous. That's very so simple
pretty
in design. And I don't mean that any disrespect to Jo, who's designed this one, but it's the artwork that does it, isn't it? And that's the key thing with these.
And sometimes the simple ones are harder to create.
Yes,
because I'm terrible. You know, it's like, oh, let's just do that. Let's do that. And before you know it, I've got 50 things on. Whereas it's so sophisticated.
Beautiful.
Love that with background. Beautiful.
That's fabulous because you've got lots of text featuring in here as well. Beauty of these is you can just take one of those stamps, and here you can see that is that fabulous stamp that we saw, the smaller stamp. Please don't think that small stamps give you small opportunities. Stamps like this, they can be utilised over and over again to create whatever size bundles kind of display you want to. So whether it is...
Sorry.
Anybody, do you fancy a cuppa?
Have a cup of tea.
You're all right.
Have me cup of tea and me throat sweet.
It's all right. I won't draw any attention to it. Love it. But as you can see here, beautiful design. Whether it's a case of you going down the traditional route, the very botanical route with these, or whether it is a case of that you're going quite contemporary with them, or mixing the two together, it does not matter. Oh, she's got a fit of the giggles now. Love that, where that gorgeous glossy accent's been used in the centre there. And I'm just looking at these and seeing, we're seeing lots of birds appearing in here. Now, the silhouette of the bird, I know it's one that we have seen previously. So, of course, things that you've got within your set, I love that. Isn't that a clever use of those fabulous banners in there? Really clever idea. So yeah, if you've got things from Tracy already, or for any other stamps, to be honest, kind of cross-pollinate them, use them together, get some absolutely incredible results time and time again. Now, Tracy is a very popular designer with the All & Create fans, so much so that already, and we're not even 10 minutes into the show, but 10% of the stock has gone. It might be the first time you come across Tracy's artwork. I do urge you to check out more of her work because she's absolutely incredible, as are all of the fabulous designers behind the name of All & Create. But for the time being, details are on your screen. If you're wanting your one-day special, 194328 is the all-important item number. And if you're not a Freedom member already, you can become a Freedom member as you're checking your basket out and take advantage of that bigger discount. Talking about discounts, something that we regularly bring to you here at the Craft Store are happy hour deals. Now, these are pretty much as it's kind of what it says on the label, really. With regards to these, the deal is there, but for this hour and this hour only. Whereas you have 24 hours for the one-day special before the price goes up, with these, you don't have so much time. You've only got 60 minutes, and we've already lost about 8 of those already. Now, with these, you can always jump onto the website and have a little look for happy hour deals when we go into a brand new hour. But these are phenomenal value for money. You can see normally be paying $17.99 for these, but not during this hour, because during this hour that price has dropped right the way down to $9.99. Lots of stamps in here, and again, these are the kind of stamps you will see being repeated often through stencils, loads of different ways, things like washi tape that we see from All & Create as well. I love these phrases and words of inspiration. One that looks like it might have been used already there. A little bit of pink ink on there. Was that down to you?
I think no, there's the one, the swear. I'm just wondering if it's been covered up.
Oh,
you remember?
Oh,
this is the one with the thingy one.
Oh, okay. I might need to read that one first. So details are on your screen there.
Well, no, I'm the recover.
102137. We'll stay a safe distance just for the time being on that one until I have a little look.
It's funny. So it's not, you know, it's a funny one. It's funny. But yeah, these are ace. So our Abs did these, and then he left lovely Janet to actually launch them, which was hilarious. He's such a cheeky monkey. But brilliant set of stamps. Not only have you got some really cool sentiments, you've then got the sort of accent imagery, and the accent imagery is amazing because that one you can create backgrounds, you can do all sorts, but it's one of those that is an absolute favourite. That one is used again and again and again, and I imagine Hayley's finger is in an appropriate place.
We've kind of edited it out. We've got a bit of sticky tape on there, so we are okay with regards to this one. So yeah, if you are easily offended, you might want a bit of sticky tape of your own. Of course, that's a little technique, isn't it, masking?
Masking.
Perfect.
Masking it off. I think it's a fabulous stamp set, is that? And it is funny.
I love
it. Yeah, it's great.
Brilliant.
It's absolutely fabulous.
And £9.99 if you want to take advantage of that one. But please make sure you're checking your baskets out with that one before we get to the top of the next hour at 7 p.m. because it will go up in price. Another deal that we've got for you, which is a duo of stamps. And these are lovely. You'll see some of the elements from this happy hour that have kind of crossed over from the last stamp set we've seen. So if you want to take advantage of both of them, by all means, please do. This time we've got a duo of stamps for £11.98. And this is where you've kind of got your layers. This is where the design has been built up over and over again to present you with one stamp that gives you the opportunity to lay down all of that imagery in one go. Saying that, you don't have to use the entire stamp if you don't want to. You can just use parts of these as well. They're incredibly flexible, so you can just use little accents from them if you so choose. But of course, overall, it is a stamp there, as you can see, A6 in size, £11.98 for both of those. It's a half price deal. You're saving £12, so rather than you just getting one of those, you're paying the price of one, but we are sending you both. 096661, and again, there's lots more. Talked about that, the indexing system, well, you'll find that when you jump onto the website. All the different stamps have got their indexing numbers on there. So if you are a fan of All and Create, which I know that many of you are, you'll have your kind of, I don't know if there's like a collector sheet with these, but you could be making your own, couldn't you, quite easily. So any gaps that you need to fill in, perfect opportunity for you to do so. And of course, you can add anything in from the website into your basket alongside your one-day special if you so choose. Oh, people, we're into penguins. Oh, I love a penguin. This is a brilliant deal. Oh, so cute. I love these. But you can see you've got that fabulous text running across. You've also got the same style of text with these. So of course, it gives you the opportunity for you to work with them all together. 14 stamps there, absolute bargain for £11.98. And there's lots more where they came from. So check them out, have a look, check out some of those reviews as you go. But make sure you do join us with this show because, of course, we are showing off these brand new stamps from Tracy. And we are incredibly busy for these. You're liking these a lot. So, Leonie, I think we're going to head over in your direction.
Amazing. Right, so before I start, what I'm going to do is just show you in detail what you're going to get because you've got so many stamps here. Now, your first one, I love these. So, your first one, I'll do them all on the overhead so you can see. I love that because you look at the packaging and you look at the real stamp, wow, way bigger than the actual real stamp. So, this one is a cracker. It's backgrounds, it's foliage, it's building up those beautiful images. I do like the sort of more detailed ones because you can build up the backgrounds, but then she gives you stamps that are easy to cut out. So these are really good feature stamps. But again, it's about that extra, you know, that kind of collage element. So I love that she's got the words sort of running through the images. You've got your different words. So you've got flowers, petals, dill, of course, herb, and that one at the bottom.
And I like that because she does give us the proper names, although we can't always pronounce them, but it gives you the ability to go off and find out more about that particular plant if you want.
And you know what you're looking at. Yes. You know, well, sort of.
And sometimes you might want to go looking for the original plant for the colours that you want to use. I mean, crafting you can use any colour, but sometimes people like it to be just so.
You're 100% right because sometimes I haven't got a colour. Tracy, though, when you do follow her on the Facebook and stuff, and she puts photos of her garden, oh my!
It looks an amazing place, doesn't it?
Very jealous. It's amazing. Okay, next now. You shouldn't have favourites. That one is just so nice. And it's funny, actually, because our Miss P is taking over the shows tomorrow.
Oh,
and I was cutting this out, prepping, and she's like, oh, I've cut that one out. We've cut the same things out. And it's so funny because I know that our Paula is doing something. I know that, you know, I was saying that me and I'd like we all share kind of inspirations. We all come up with the same idea or similar ideas. It's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, you'll see. Our lovely Miss P will be joining you tomorrow.
That's a nice stamp because it hasn't got hands on there, so you can put them where you want them to be.
Exactly. It really does leave it open for you, doesn't it? Which is just beautiful. And I like the size of it as well. You've then got, now I love these, your 2 little pointers, because that reminds me of your little things that you put in your actual seeds. Yeah, with a name on. Because normally you bob them in like that, don't you? Right on. Yeah, I love that. You've got your beautiful little flower there. It's like a nice thistle. So you've got knapweed, you've got wildflower, circle of life, you've got vintage, garden and plant. So again, lovely sentiments. And then next we have got for you, I'll take this out of packaging as well.
Ooh, now this one looks like it's got lots of definitions on there. I like this idea, because they're always useful ones to kind of build up a design, aren't they?
And I love this one because like you were saying, it is the building up. It's this for me. All that smaller text. I really like that. Dandelion. Flower heads are yellow to orange coloured, open in the daytime but closes at night. Flower heads mature into spherical seed heads. Spherical.
Round.
Yeah.
Spherical.
Do you know what? I'm getting worse. If you don't use it, you lose it. I used to write legal letters as a solicitor's once one day. Can you believe that?
Oh, gosh.
I know, right?
So you're all right with Latin, just not spherical.
Letters. I can't write anything now. I can't say it again. Seed heads, sometimes called clocks. Not a chance with that one. Dandelion, florets. Fluffy seed heads, I can say that.
Oh, that's cute.
Fluffy seed heads. Oh, you fluffy little seed head. Tooth-like leaves, you say it.
Oh, tooth-like.
Tooth-like. I love the way she says that. And then evergreen perennial, making low flattened moulds of mounds of foliage. So again, you've got beautiful descriptions. You've got your fabulous dandelion, and then you've got your whatever that one's called as well, which is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. But then you're also getting your 2 little A7 stamps. Now, I must admit, another favourite. I love this one.
Isn't it pretty?
Yes. When I looked at that, I thought, I'm using that first. I absolutely adore that one. And then you've got your beautiful daisies. What I love about the daisies is the solidity of the stamp. It's one of those that when you're doing backgrounds with this, you can create some really cool backgrounds.
Is this the sort of stamp that you can kind of lift out with, like a silhouette? So, so you could have patterns, petals within the stamp.
Yeah.
Right, nice.
Oh, there's so much you can do with stamps like that. It's lush. So you've got a really good collection of stamps. Now, where I'm going to start is, as I said, this was my favourite, so of course, I decided not to. I was going to do a really faffy demonstration first of all, but I thought, no, I'm going to do just a stamping demonstration to start us off, because we've got stamps.
Now, for anybody that's new to All and Create, is there anything we need to know about the stamps when we receive them? You're peeling off the acetate there.
Yeah, peel off your acetate.
You don't leave anything on there?
No, it's fine. I mean, when the stamps are manufactured, you might want to lift with sellotape. Okay. Because they have a bit of a coating on. Or just stamp them a couple of times and they'll be absolutely fine.
Them, got you. Okay.
Yep. I must admit, I don't, because I'm lazy. Okay. But you have got that option. With the stamping blocks, now I would recommend, last time I did my All and Create show, I had all the stamping blocks. This time I can't find any
And they do some brilliant ones, because they kind of flex as well.
Yes, like I have got the A4. The A4 is the only one I can find. I'm really annoyed, but it's really lightweight and flexible. I really, really recommend these. Yeah. I much prefer them now because of the lightweight nature. Yes. I love that. So I would really recommend those. You can get the different sizes for those. So what I do recommend is a nice juicy ink pad. My obsession at the moment is a VersaFine Claire. I have re-inked this one, ready for the show.
Oh,
I know. Boom. Yeah, it has. I found it. I mean, I couldn't even find it earlier on
So
today.
did you accidentally come across the re-inker and it reminded you?
No.
Oh, right.
I'd stamped it and that note came out. It was like, oh yeah, I need to do that. So a nice juicy stamp. I'm going on to watercolour cardstock. Now, watercolour cardstock, because of the texture, it might not give it 100% crisp, clean stamp. This is really where you should be using your stamping platform, but I forgot about it till this second. Your stamping platform, of course, would mean if it isn't 100% first time, at least you can go in. Remember,
and sometimes we're a bit too quick, aren't we, to lift the stamp away as well?
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, I'm really allowing that ink to soak in. But watercolour cardstock is a tiny bit trickier because it's got texture. However, perfect.
Wow, that looks pretty good to me.
Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful image. So that's my first image that I want to use. I am going to actually colour this in, which is unusual. I don't normally, but I thought I would like to colour this in. Now, what I was going to do is colour the flowers in, but what I'm going to do instead is actually go around the actual flowers. So these are going to pop out because I thought that's going to look quite interesting. And also, I don't want to, if I can, I might not go out them. If I might change this, I'm going to say I'm not going out the lines. I'm staying within the rectangle. If I smudge and I go out the lines, I will change that.
But to be fair, I mean, this stamp is such a beautiful image when it's stamped out. If you're making quick and easy cards, you don't need to add much more than that. That really contemporary black and white looks amazing.
Doesn't it look good? And I mean, what I do adore as well, these are really easy to fussy cut out.
Yeah.
So you could quite easily fussy cut some of those out. It's funny actually, I don't normally colour in on live TV but I just really like this image.
And
I thought,
hankering for it to look this way. I love it.
It's beautiful and the blue is gorgeous.
Isn't it gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah, if you manage to get these are the Jane Davenport ones. And they are absolutely stunning.
Now, just as you're adding your colour there, Leonie, I'm going to do a very quick update. The reason being, these are flying out. Had huge quantities of these to start with, as we always do with a one-day special, but already 20% of the stock has gone. That's the whole day stock. That's not just the stock for this hour. This is part of the stock that goes right the way through to 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. And we're only a few minutes into the hour. So, yeah, please make sure that you are taking advantage of these deals when they're presented to you. Don't forget, not only we've got the one-day special, we've got those 2 happy hour deals as well. So don't forget to check those out, and of course everything can go into your basket in one go. Means you can take advantage of the savings and spread the cost if you so choose, and if you're a Freedom member, you've got an even lower price because that saving of £10 is increased, which means you're going to get that larger saving, which means you're going to get that lower price. £15.99 is the saving if you're a Freedom member. So if you're not a Freedom member already, then it's definitely worth considering, especially if you're going for some of those additional items, because you're going to be saving on your post and packing as well. The details on your screen if you're wanting to get involved. And as I say, spread the cost over 2 payments if you so choose. That's a lovely blue that you've chosen there. That's gorgeous.
I love this. Mind you, I adore these pens anyway. I like them because they're so rich. I like this because when you're colouring in, it's automatic that we go for the main image.
Yes.
But actually, the colouring in the background really makes those flowers absolutely pop. Part of my brain wants me to then colour in or add some colour to the flower. I'm in two minds because I really do like them as they are. I do think they look really quite effective.
Sometimes people will do that kind of almost like a spotlight and just put a bit of colour into one of those flowers.
Yes.
Oh, I love these petals because with the divisions that you've got there of the lines, you could get your fine detail pen in and do a little bit doodling in there as well, couldn't you?
And I mean, really, when you look at these, you could actually colour the stripes and you could do so much with these.
Loads of
the
potential.
more I look at this stamp, the more I love it. It's funny. And this is why I love crafting. Now, you know, you always find new favourites every single time. Now, I want to create that rectangle, but I want to emphasise it. So I'm just taking my fine liner.
Okay.
As we know, the wonderful thing about the techniques these days is that we don't care about straight lines.
Yes.
I mean,
they're so last year.
Oh, so straight. Yeah. Do you know what? I say it's in it crafting because once upon a day everyone worried about it, and then someone went, oh, wobbly lines are great, and we all went, oh yes, so they are. because we can all do a wobbly line. And it just, honestly, game changer.
I want fabric like that. It looks fabulous.
Doesn't it look beautiful? And you could keep stamping it, so you could make big blocks. Yeah, really happy with that. Now, what I did do, I need to move this. It is the packaging. I will end up stamping on it if I don't move it. It's one of those, if I keep anything close to me, it ends up being stamped on. Now, I'm going to take this flower here. This is a beautiful stamp again. I've already cut it out and it's ready to go, but I just thought I'd stamp it for you just to see the detail of this. It's absolutely exquisite. So I'll stamp it on a little bit of card here, and this is scrap card because obviously I've already cut it out, but what I love about this one is, in fact, do you know what, I might do a twofer.
Okay.
I might sorry, I'm doing my normal faff, everybody at home.
I love this. There's a plan to start with, and then 2 or 3 minutes in, it usually gets put to the sidelines.
It is ridiculous.
But it shows the versatility, because you're kind of thinking and crafting on the hoof, and that's the beauty of this. You're going to get all sorts of different results dependent on where your mind goes at that particular moment.
Oh, and it never ends, you know. And that's what it should be about. It shouldn't be about you coming to the stamps and going, don't know, you know. I've done that one. I've used that stamp 50 times and it always looks the same. It should be that you look at it and go, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do this. Oh, see.
Wow.
Well, I've missed that centre element out because I should be doing this. Sorry, folks at home.
Okay.
I'm actually going to do what I said I'd do and not what I didn't.
Oh, the stamp platform. Right.
Yeah, stamping platform. Watercolour cardstock. If you're using watercolour cardstock, stamping platform is always the better option.
Because of the tooth in it.
Because of the tooth.
I can't get it.
Because of your tooth. Yes, absolutely. Because now I don't need to worry about putting loads of ink on it. I know exactly where the stamp's gonna sit, so it means if it doesn't go right, which it did this time, it also, because I've got the cushioning underneath.
I was going to say, having that there's helping.
Isn't that a gorgeous stamp?
Beautiful.
I love that you've got the wording through it. I just think that's absolutely stunning. Now, on its own, absolutely beautiful, but of course, I've already cut this out, it's all ready to go, but of course you've got all your other stamps. I mean, if I wanted to do the quickest she's off. I'm on a tangent.
She's gone off on a tangent again.
We're off on the tangent, everyone. We're on the tangent. So if I wanted to, I could now take one of my other stamps, and all I'm going to do with this, now this time I'm not going to put it on the block.
Oh, okay, right.
I'm going to do my thing that I like doing, and because we just want the words.
Okay, right, yeah.
So just allowing the words to just go. This, you see, I adore this. This is why All Create and Tracy are so clever, because they'll give you things that you can use in so many different ways, and it's easy to make it look good. I mean, already that image looks good. You've got that beautiful stamp there. That is a cracking background stamp. It's absolutely gorgeous. You've also got, of course, the wonderful time one. Now, again, what I do love when I'm using the beautiful stamps from All Create and Tracy, you can split them up because you start seeing different images. So if I'm really quite specific with this one, so I know exactly what I've inked. I've inked the time, I've inked that little bit there. So then all I'm going to do is stamp that bit. And I adore that, because it's literally lifting one tiny little bit out of there. And then I can get, so I'm going to go in for the clock.
Oh,
so if I go in, like so just inking that bit up. And then, so I've got my time here. I've got this here, like that. So just putting pressure on that bit, like there. How cool is that? Now, I've got a tiny little bit there, tiny little bit there. Don't panic about that. Remember, this isn't what I were doing. This is Leonie going off on tangents. Don't worry, because look, you can now, I'm on my tangent.
As opposed to your tandem.
Yeah.
Going off on your tandem.
Off on my
Do
tangent.
you know who's watching? The lovely Tracy herself. And I did say before we started, I wondered whether Tracy would be watching. So, hello. Good to have your company during this time. She's loving what you're doing with her stamps, and she's loving your enthusiasm as well. So she's saying that, as always, Leonie, a huge thank you for showcasing my designs with such enthusiasm, and thank you to everyone who's purchased. Well, Tracy, we're about halfway through the hour, and a lot of people have purchased already. So thank you for bringing us such amazing artwork. Already over 20% of the stock has gone, so it's a very popular one, and it's something you do so well. And I know that our lovely viewers do love following you on social media and having a little look at that garden that you've got, where you get that inspiration as well. So yeah, thank you. And you do so well. I mean, this is an area you can almost look at stamps sometimes and know who the designer is. And Tracy's one of those artists.
She's absolutely one of those artists. It's yeah, I love that. I love that you can absolutely look at Tracy's work and go, oh yeah, I know who that is. It's so, yeah. It's so obvious now, isn't it? She's got such a recognisable style. Now, I am faffing, I do apologise, but because I'm putting the ink on there and just building a colour palette up. But to create a gorgeous and dead quick and easy as well.
That's phenomenal.
You know, when we look at the sort of full image, then you can see the sort of the clock at the top, and like when you look at the full image, it is quite nice how everything comes together. We're just looking at the top bit at the minute, but when you look at the full thing, you can see
all the words
how
down there
everything
as well.
goes.
One thing I noticed as well, when you're using the word clock from the kind of the pocket watch, there's a little nod to the same style of flower that you've got there as well. So again, you've got that continuity, that crossover, where elements from that one stamp plate are used on another stamp plate. So when you bring them together, you get loads and loads of different combinations.
Yeah,
so
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what Tracy does, though, isn't it? She always makes sure that everything works together. You'll go through her old collections, through the other collections, and everything will mix and match. Now, I did say I've already cut that stamp out. So that's already been stamped. I've already done a little die cut, so the little die cut's going there because I wanted to lift it off the actual stamp, because obviously I've coloured in with the same blue, and I wanted to be able to see that. So I've lifted that off. I've then cut out already one of the little planter ones. These are ace. Now, honestly, as soon as I look at it, it's like, oh, you could cut a little snippet in there and then tuck it in. Do you know what I mean? You start thinking, oh, I could cut a bit there and tuck it in there. There's so many, you start going, oh, that's a cracker. I can use it in so many ways.
Use it practically as well if you are into gardening and you need something to actually kind of catalogue all your different plants. Yeah, use it that way.
You really could. I mean, it is one of those. But obviously, some of your different, not all of them, of course, but you can just line them up, see what's going to fit.
I like this, where you're auditioning them to see what's going to work.
I like the word. You're being auditioned, darling.
It's something we do with our fabrics when we're trying to plan out different ideas and ways of bringing fabrics together, and it works with stamps as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, and that's the gorgeous thing about having them on that kind of the acetate background, because at least you can see. You can see the print. So before you actually pop them down, before you do anything with them, you can see how it's going to work. So you just need to decide which way you want it. I kind of like it. Let's have a little look-see. I kind of like it the other way about. So yeah, we're going in that way, like so, and then hover till you're ready, and then pop that down as so. Boom.
Oh,
perfect.
Cute.
Absolutely perfect. So you've got a little flower like this. And I'm not gonna start sticking them together and everything, just because of time and all that malarkey. But just to give you an idea. So you've got that there. We've got that there. And do you know what? I'm actually not going to add anything else to that.
That shows you don't need to have a lot of kind of crafting elements in your craft room, because there you just used a simple couple of colours there. Yeah,
and it's not like me, is that? Not to get 100%. Sorry, I'm trying to move it. It's that close. We're butting into this and that. But it's one of those that It's not normally me not to fav, but I really like that. Obviously, matte and layer it on black, and that would look absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Isn't
Leonie, thank you.
Beautiful?
That is gorgeous. Really enjoyed that.
All because of our Tracy's artwork. And thank you for emailing in, Tracy. It's always lovely to hear off you.
I love it. Now I'm going to let you get ready for your next demo, if that's okay. So you can see, simple as you just add a little bit of colour, add a little bit of an element, die-cut element to spotlight and show off certain little elements from the different stamps that you've got. And to be honest, you've got a lot of choice with regards to which stamps do you use, because the exact technique that Leonie's just shared with us, you could use in so many different ways. Exactly the same technique, but mixing up the background, using the daisies rather than the one that she used, or building up one using things like almost like the pine element. Well, I don't even know what they're called. The dill. I think it must be dill, because the dill is featured on that particular stamp plate, so I'm just going to throw it in there. I think it's dill. We'll go with dill. And then, of course, you've got all your gorgeous florals with these. Your dandelions. I love dandelions because dandelion clocks are quite a spiritual plant, I think, especially when you think about all of those little kind of floaty bits when they go off. Beautiful stamp. You'll be able to use it just as it is, adding the yellow as it references in the kind of dictionary definition that you've got as a stamp there as well. But I think that's going to look beautiful if you just use in certain areas alongside things like your embossing powders. You've got a lot of support with these stamps as well. So you'll have your main focal image, maybe your hero stamp as we sometimes call it, but lots of supportive stamps. So if you're needing to frame or you're needing to extend, then you can do. That card that you're looking at there, that is just using one stamp and maybe an inky mop-up that you've got. We create all these fabulous backgrounds, but do we always use them? Not necessarily so, but this shows that you can go through those and instantly put down a stamp on there, and straight away you have got a finished project. Now, the thing that you will find with All and Create, always a very popular way of crafting, but it's one of those ones that you can actually make and sell with as well. And this is something that people will regularly buy. Cards that have got that contemporary look, that arty feel to them, but often containing those kind of those florals, things like the succulents that you can see featuring on here as well. Beautiful imagery, gorgeous colours, but of course you could create that in a huge array of different colours and get a different result each and every time. 194328, a quarter of the stock has gone. We're getting very, very busy with regards to these. Stepped away from Leonie, so you're not missing anything demonstration-wise, but don't worry, we will be heading back in that direction very soon. But I need to do a little bit of housekeeping. I need to tell you about our happy hour deals, because again, it's not just the one-day special that we've got featuring in this hour at a special price. We have got happy hour for you as well. Now, this is a brilliant stamp set. You've got 24 stamps in here, and this one has been created by, is this one of Ab's ones? I think it is, isn't it? I can't see. It is Ab's, isn't it? Yeah.
Of course it is. That's why there's a cheeky word on it.
I don't like to assume. Well, that's true, actually. Yeah, I should have known from the cheeky word.
Cheeky, it's cheeky, that one.
And here you've got a whole array of different stamps. Here you've got individual stamps, as you can see with these, so you can build them up and use them in whichever way that you want to use them and get some incredible results. Do check out as well the brand section for All and Create, because you'll see lots of these elements like the stars, like the circles, like the fabulous little plus signs and the minus signs. You'll find those featuring on the brand section as things like stencils, washi tape, all sorts of different mediums, which obviously enhance further the stamps, or maybe you've already invested in those and now's the perfect opportunity for you to bag a bargain. You've got an £8 saving on this one, bringing it right the way down to just £9.99, 102 137. And then we've got a duo of stamps which are going to be perfect for you to create your backdrop with. Again, both of these coming to you, and again, a phenomenal price. It's like a half price deal with this one, because you've got a £12 saving. Normally £11.99 each, but both of them coming to you for the price of one, pretty much so. And again, these are stamps where you've got a lot of content in there, but as Leonie showed us with that fabulous little definition stamp, the definition stamp that we were looking at just a few moments ago, then there's lots and lots of different ways that you can work with that. You can kind of utilise it, bend it, flex it, get it exactly where you want to go. And as you can see there, you've got all that gorgeous, gorgeous detail featuring in there. I love these ones. Again, that one's called Lined Plus. I like that idea. So again, if you want to know, it's £11.98. Of course, you will be able to get them after the hour has come to a close, but you'll be paying that higher price. So my advice is get involved as soon as you can. It's 096 661. Now I've got an extensive range of products that All and Create bring to us, so we're going to show you a selection of some of them that will work alongside your one-day special. So here you can see more botanicals featuring with this one. These ones are really pretty. You've got elements of nature, 10 stamps here for £12.99. Again, a really good saving. And again, these are things that you can add in alongside your one-day special and spread the cost. Don't forget you've got that flexi buy, opening up your flexi order. Incidentally, if you've never shopped with us before, when you've got an item that the cost is spread over 2 payments because it's on flexi buy, then it opens up your flexi order, which means you can add anything else in and spread the cost of those as well. Now this is a pretty one, isn't it, as you can see there. Absolutely gorgeous. More Tracy's gorgeous artwork, as you can see here, and again just £12.99. You will become collectors of these, I can pretty much guarantee it, and this is a nice one to maybe get started with. All sorts of essences of nature as well. This one we're looking at lots of butterflies, and I love this because this might work alongside die cut elements that you've got, but again building up. Can you see the pocket watch featuring in this one? This is what Tracy does so well. She'll cross-pollinate different elements from different kind of stamp sets. So if you've already invested in that one or you're going for the one-day special, they will work really well together. The numbers featuring in there, the butterflies, the text, that's the thing that I love about Tracy. She never forgets those previous releases of stamps, so she always wants to make sure that you're able to maximise them. And again, here you go, she does it again here. The numbers, the butterflies, the text, all coming together for just £9.99 on this particular one as well. 173827. There's absolutely loads more of Tracy's artwork and stamps featuring on the website, so do take a little time, not now, don't go now, because we've got some fabulous demonstrations, but a little bit later on perhaps go back and check those out. Lots of popular items on the website, and of course you can shop at any time with the brand section from All and Create. What are you up to over there, Leonie?
Well, actually, I'm cutting out, but I'll put that one aside because that's for later.
Okay.
Because I thought it's funny. I'm still not gone to my actual planned demonstration.
So is this the demonstration that you got ready? That'll still be there. You know, it's going to be there forever.
I do it all the time. It's because it's like, oh yeah, but I'd like to do this and I'd like to do this. Right. One of the things, so the one I'm going for now is that one, and I do believe, I think that's dill, to be honest, because dill's there. I should know dill because I've got it in my garden. Well, obviously it's died back now, but I've got dill in my garden, so I think that's dill. But anyway, I love that because it's such a, it's one of those you can do all sorts with. On one of the cards, and I'll show you what they've done actually, on one of the cards they've created, I'm looking for another piece of card. So
it almost looks like a tree stamp though when you see it on the stamp plate.
It doesn't it? On one of them, they've created a really nice kind of wreath image with it.
Oh, I've seen
and
that somewhere.
I'm actually going to take it off the block to do this. This isn't what I'm doing. I just wanted to show you because look, just with it off the block. Yeah, that one. I mean, have a look at that. How cool does that look?
Fabulous.
And that's this stamp.
Yeah.
So it means, and I'm using it just like this because I find it easier like this to do something like this because I can just, because I like wreaths not 100% perfect. I kind of like them very natural. So, and this is quite handy because I'm not using the full stamp, so I know that I'm not going to get ink where I don't want it. So I'm not going to ruin the kind of design. Obviously, I'm stamping a few times, so you can build up those layers, so it looks thicker anyway. But look at that, how it starts building up.
Clever.
Isn't it a cool stamp?
That looks fabulous.
I really like this stamp. It's a really good, handy stamp to have in your stash. And I'm literally only using the tip of the stamp there. So it's just popping the tip into the ink and then just literally squidging it down, and you've got that. I love it. I'm really quite happy with it.
It was Jo that's given us the inspiration. I say us, I'm just kind of reading her name out. But Jo, yeah, inspiring you with that one.
And it was inspiring because I hadn't thought of it. And I just think that, and this is why though, it's so nice to have a design team that are always coming up with incredible ideas. If you love the cards that you've seen from the design team, please check out All and Create Fanatics group over on Facebook.
Okay.
Because they share loads of artwork, they share loads of inspiration. They're really prolific. There's tons on there, so please have a look. See, I really like that.
That's fabulous, yeah.
And it's quick. Now, obviously, you can create reeds, beautiful. I'm sorry, I am absolutely off on a doodah, a proper tangent. But that'll be another one. But you were saying about they look like little trees. Well,
look.
imagine if you just had them like this along the edge. I mean, it looks like a tree. It's it's a beautiful border.
It's almost like scene building,
isn't it? And that could easily be Christmas, couldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, because you've got all that beautiful greenery. See, I think something like that is just beautiful. It's such a nice stamp. Because look at that, you could create that. Doesn't that look? And that along the edge of the card.
Yeah.
So it's a stunning stamp,
It is
that?
gorgeous. I mean, if you've got one of those quite profound sentiment stamps or just a word of inspiration, look perfect with that.
And
Beautiful.
in fact, your lovely word. And then maybe, because I've already cut out to one of the flowers, maybe just one of the flowers on like that. And then obviously your lovely little, your lovely little tab like that, with the sentiment on it. Absolutely beautiful. Or of course, a beautiful little clock.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't that look pretty?
Nice.
Doesn't that look pretty? And maybe even a little leaf. I love it because we've obviously, I love these tangents. These tangents are great because look how good that looks all together.
Yeah.
Tangents are great.
Aren't
they good? Because I wasn't even planning on doing that.
But you've not committed any of those because you've not glued them down. You've kind of bought them in. You'll take them in, take them out. So it's a good idea to sit down and kind of stamp these out. When you get them, stamp them all out, add colour to them, cut them out, and then you kind of got your formations, and then go off and replicate it.
And it's so pretty. Nice. And again, like because you've got the full card, it just looks. I love that. I'm having a very nice time.
It's having a lovely time.
That wasn't planned either, so we'll go on to one that I actually thought I'd do. A lovely time. Okay, so what I wanted to do with this one is, and it's like, ooh, which ink, because I don't want to go too heavy, but I want it to see it, so I'll probably go in a bit heavy. So I'm going to use the Rustic Wilderness, so I am going in a little bit darker. So what I wanted to do with this, we get a really nice sort of watercolory background.
Okay.
So inking it up first of all, and I'm going to take it away from the demonstration area and spritz it with water. Because obviously the lovely thing about this stamp is, yes, it makes a great focal image, it makes a fantastic builder, but it's going to make a lovely background as well. So if I just stamp this, I want to stamp it a couple of times. So stamp it once, which looks absolutely beautiful, doesn't it? Stamp it again, and this time now
it's giving a fullness to it now with that additional water.
Yeah, I always liked, always when you get a new stamp, practice and see if this works with it. Some stamps it doesn't, some stamps it looks absolutely beautiful. That is a really good stamp for this technique. It's one of those that it's a really highly functional stamp, is that. It's a cracker. So that's my first little layer. I'm then going to take one of the stencils. Now, we have got stencils. I was given these, so I presume, I hope they're not. I hope I haven't gone off on a tangent and these are in the later hours as happy hours. I might have gone off on a tangent.
Do I need to draw attention away from that? So incidentally, happy hours. Subtly. You may see happy hours pop up.
That might be.
Tell you what, you can use that one in the next show at 8 o'clock.
Fabulous.
There you go.
Fabulous. I was getting right ahead of myself. Standard. So instead we'll use a stamp, which is in this hour. Now I love this one. Absolutely fantastic. Again, if you're brand new to All and Create, Bapasha is one of the other incredible artists that they've got on the team. Bapasha is amazing. She's got her styling is, again, it's one of those you instantly know, because what she actually does, she puts the imagery, but then you can see the sentiments and the words, and she hides them within the main image, and oh my gosh, it's so cool. And you can actually read it, but you have to look into it to read it. So I'm going to stamp, It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, I'm not going to ink the whole thing. I'm just going to bob a little bit of ink kind of in the centre of this, because I want this to be more of a background. I don't want it to be a main thing. I want it to be more of an accent. So we'll bob that there like that. Has that got a hair on it? No. And then, now this time, rather than stamping, spritzing the card with water, I'm going to, sorry, the stamp with water, I'm going to spritz the cardstock.
Okay, right.
This time, because I might have got a bit too heavy-handed there. For starters, I
like that though.
Oh, that always makes
colour
me happy.
moving.
It always makes me happy. If your card, obviously, you spritz one side, spritz the other side, it'll help stick it to your glass mat so it doesn't lift as much. And then what I'm going to do is just take my stamp and stamp into the wet ink, into the wet water.
The wet water. It's the best kind of water, the wet water, isn't it? That dry water,
You know, when
stand
you
it.
say it and it's like, oh, of course it's wet water. Because I'm stamping into wet water. Oh, have you got some wet water? That's unusual, Leonie. And I'll tell you, oh, it's wet this. Oh, gosh, it's a bit too wet, is the water. But you can, now I like this a lot because it looks really, it just looks like it's merged into the cardstock. If I'd have done it the other way around, I'd have got more of a specific image. It'd have been more, you know, it'd have been a stronger image. Whereas this now, it just looks like it's blending in.
It's one of those ones that when you look at it, first time you'll look at this and you'll see the dill. And then your eye will kind of go off to the side and you'll notice the plus signs, the circles, the text, and it kind of makes it interesting. Doesn't matter how many times you look at it.
Absolutely. Yeah, everything it'll start popping out at you, won't it? Now, something that I do really, really love, obviously, as you've seen, is just picking up some of those little elements. So I'm just inking, I mean, obviously I'm not only inking that because, you know, I've got a big ink pad, but that's where my main aim is. I haven't taken this off the plastic because I don't really need to. I know this isn't going to line up properly or 100%, but it's not too bad.
And that's still quite wet, isn't it?
Yes,
so,
yeah, because I'm being really naughty and not drying my card. I say you should, and then I forget to do it because I always can't be bothered with that. And I love doing stuff like this. Just little highlights of black, just pulling out some of these images. This stamp is brilliant for it because you can just start making it just adds to the interest of that image. You know, it just gives you a completely different look.
I think it's interesting as well because we've got two totally different designers here, different artists, but they're coming together and they work together.
Oh, yeah. Everything does. This is a beautiful thing about All and Create, the way it all works together. Every designer, it's so interesting. This bit, I do like doing this because I am terrible for using black ink. I do use black ink all the time, but I love that sort of statement that it gives you. And I do like, and it's funny when you start with this, I wanted it in threes, but I need a little bit more here, a little bit more there. I'm happy with that now, happy with that. But this one, I want a tiny bit more. Again, I'm just looking at that stamp. There's loads on it. You know, the way I look at a stamp, I'll look at, you look at all these little elements and break it up. Don't see it as a full stamp. Break it up into sections. So then when you're inking it, you can lift little elements out of it. And it's just so satisfying because then you just get those little squares
little hints,
and those little crosses. And you wouldn't think, when you look at that, you wouldn't think you could actually be that specific, but you can. I've got a bit of ink there that I didn't want, that's standard, but I'm not worried about that in the slightest, obviously. Say, look at your little crosses, how fabulous are those?
So sweet.
Really, really pretty. So, happy with that. So that's my gorgeous background. As ever, I don't know where I've put, there it is. So I've got that little bit. Now, where we're going with this one, I was going to stamp directly on with, which flower we're going to use? We're going to stamp directly on with the flower, but because I've gone quite dark with that ink, I think if I stamp directly on, I'm going to lose it. So I'm not going to do that. That was my original plan of action, but I'm changing my mind because if I do go for that, it's just going to get lost in it, and we don't want to do that. So what I am going to do is absolutely use some of those elements that I previously cut out, because let's face it, they work. So if I'm using this, but I want to add a little bit of green green to that as well. So I'm just going to go in with my ink pad, a little bit of ink in there, because I don't want the card to be too clean. So a little bit of ink just to bring that beautiful colour in. That lovely.
Oh, it's got a real flow to it, that.
Oh, it's stunning. It's just so pretty. And that, I mean, it is the full pocket watch. So if you want the full pocket watch, but I don't, I just want the clock face for this one.
Of course,
I'm also actually go around the outside with the black, because that will make it look really effective as well. And it just, because I've cut it out, I actually cut it out because on the demonstration that I've actually prepped.
You've got a spare one for 8 o'clock.
Honestly. Why do I do this? But because I wanted, I thought, oh, I might do a little cheeky shaker. I probably won't, but you know, the option's there. So that's that, which I absolutely adore. This will be put onto black cardstock, and I'll show you what it'll look like, because as soon as you put it on black cardstock, everything changes.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't it always look good?
Oh my goodness,
as soon as you put it onto
quite
black
dramatic,
cardstock. It's like, oh, game changer. Let's do a Janet. Our lovely, well, it is a thing, is doing borders, but our lovely Janet is well into doing borders now. That stamp, you know the flower that I used earlier?
Yes, yeah.
Now, this stamp is absolutely cracking, again, because you've got those lovely little words.
Nice, yeah.
Now, you can actually see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is super, super tiny. You can see it. That's the quality of these stamps, made in the UK. Absolutely gorgeous. So just stamping those like so, which looks really, really pretty. Happy with that. Don't want anything else. I'm going to go for, now I know I've already used this stamp, but this will become a bit of a favourite. That's then the words again.
Yes,
but I'm only using these as borders. So I'm not bothered about being able to read it particularly. I just want to be able to see the actual letters. I'm not going to go around every single side, because that'll be too much. You just want it to be quite subtle. If you wanted to bring one of the flowers, if you wanted to bring one of the words in, you could absolutely do that, but I like it.
I love it. So. Looking at these different flowers, I mean, there's flowers I've never heard of. The knapweed flower, I love it. It's kind of got kind of a quirkiness to it as well.
Yeah,
nice.
What I love is, I've never heard of half of these.
Yeah.
It's like a botanical lesson by Tracy, isn't it? You know, that's what she's doing, isn't it? She's actually teaching us all. She's educating us as she goes along. I
love it. Now, just as Leonie's adding that colour, of course, we're here launching a brand new one-day special. Leonie's going to be back at 8 o'clock with more demonstrations, and then our lovely Paola is going to pick up the crafty baton in the morning and join you with this amazing one-day special. We've got quite an exciting day ahead of us tomorrow as well, so make sure you do join us. But this deal is phenomenal. You've got 3 of your A5 sets, you've got 2 of your A7 sets, and rapidly approaching 30% of the stock has gone. 194328. If you like the look of these and that brilliant price on your screen, then get involved. But if you prefer this price, which is the price that we can bring to you if you're a Freedom member, you've got that bigger discount. And that's the beauty of this one. We've got 2 prices, $15.99 being the saving if you are a Freedom member, and 2 flexi buys, which of course will drop down if you're paying that lower price. How are you getting on over there?
Well, that's how it's going to be.
Nice. I like the reds, yeah.
The one thing that I might do is cut out one of these and stick those on as well, because they work so well with all of these stamps.
Definitely.
So I think I might add that on, but doesn't that just look pretty? And honestly, so achievable, it's ridiculous. Please check your baskets
I love
out.
it. Don't forget those additional stamps that Leonie was working with. We've got 2 happy hour deals. You've got your A5 stamp plate, you've got your 2 A6s, A6s. They're on the website, but they're going to go up in price in just over 3 minutes, so make sure you get